All right, everybody. We are on day 3 of the workshop to help you create successful online events. So, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day. So, just to recap, the first day we had a chance to talk a little bit about marketing and mindset shifts. And then yesterday we were talking about strategies in different formats. And it kind of laid the groundwork for creating an amazing event. But one of the key things for really creating an incredible event is know who the event is for. So, specifically, knowing who is your customer. So, some of you may think that you're familiar with who your customer is. Some of you may really have gone into some in depth studies. But one of the advantages that we now have is, especially with small business owners and entrepreneurs, there are different little niches of information that were very costly, that most practically couldn't happen on a small budget. You'd have to be in one of these Fortune 500 companies. But with social media, we have been introduced to moving from demographics to psychographics. And it's like having a deeper understanding of the personality of your customer or target market. And today, that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to share some tips with you that you can start implementing with your own social media so that you can get an idea of who your customers are, and also some other resources outside of just social media, so you can start doing some research and gathering and really get an idea of who is your marketplace. So if you are joining me live today, drop a hashtag live, or if you are watching this on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And just as a reminder, every night at 8 p.m., we're going to host a watch replay party where we'll basically be available for Q&A live while we're doing a watch party. And I understand, a lot of us are really busy during the day with our work schedules, trying to get everything done. You might not have time to squeeze in one of these videos. But what I do want to say to you is the videos are going to be available in the group area until through next week. And then we're going to be deleting them and archiving them in our members library. So it's really important for you to be proactive in taking advantage of these trainings, because when you start to implement them into your business and your overall operation, it can save you a lot of time, money, and frustration. And really, one of the key things I can tell you is with your online events, you need to know who your online event is for, who is your person. And a lot of people have gone to the length of creating an avatar, meaning like a pseudo version of a person of who they're talking to. I've even heard of some people that will take a photo and tape it right up to their computer. So while they're typing out, their messaging, that they're writing it directly to the person that they've got that image of. Now, people that master this skill often will end up with marketing and ad promos where people will say, oh my gosh, you're talking to me. So I want you to start to become hypersensitive to ads and things that are targeting you, because most of the people that are the bigger players in advertising, even online, they are targeting you for a specific reason because they think that you are their potential client. So today we're going to briefly talk about that also, including like pixels, which are a way for you to be able to have your ad copy follow your potential client on the internet. But the big thing is it's all about meaningful relationships. And earlier I was saying to you, previously we would rely on a lot on demographics. And now with social media, we have access to this incredible information about the psychology, the thinking, how your potential customer is feeling. So in the past, some of the things would include, being able to know their age, their race, where they lived, maybe their employment status. But now we're able to get into this better understanding of who our clients are, including their personality. What are things that they value? What are things that they're interested in? And what are some of their lifestyles? So why that's important is it gives you a chance to understand what they hold valuable. It gives you a chance to understand what are their concerns, what are their pain points, what are the things that inspire them. And you can create products, services, and your marketing campaign that can help ease those woes or help them reach that goal. But this is going to come down to you being willing to go and dig in and find the information that is readily available. So, and to get into that, I have to talk to you briefly about some of the structure with Facebook. Now, a lot of you still may be using your personal page to promote your company. And that really should be something that's like a bonus place that you share your content. It shouldn't be the central hub. And I've talked to you about this before, the importance of understanding Facebook's policies so that you don't break them and get booted off the platform. If you become respectful to what Facebook is asking of you, they will help you get what you need. But one of the things it's going to require, if you do not have a business page, is to set up a business page immediately. Now, in the past, the pages were being promoted at a higher level in the algorithm from different things I've observed through my own pages and also talking with other consultants, coaches, and marketers in the industry. They've all noticed how that has shifted. Really, to be able to get engagement on your page, you have to pay. Otherwise, you have to have a deep organic following, and you're getting people to go back into that page. And it is possible. It's absolutely possible. But when you use the page, it gives you your business page, specifically your business page, not personal page. When you use your business page, it allows it to accumulate data about the people that are engaging in your page. Now, some of this data you won't see per se, but you'll still have access to it through the way that you structure your ads in Facebook. So one of the cool things when you get back into the back and you go into the ads manager, you can start to target ads of what they call lookalike ads. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not, but it gives Facebook a chance to have you target people that have watched maybe a certain percentage of your video. So you're not just throwing your content out to, people that wouldn't be interested in it. It's going to people that would be more likely to be in those same demographics and psychographics that we were talking about earlier that would fit what is already coming to your page, right? So if that makes sense to you, give me a thumbs up, because this is probably one of the things that is the biggest perk on working your online event with Facebook specifically, is their intense target marketing that they can help you get into. And, being able to get into, there's a saying, the riches are in the niches. And if you can get into a specific niche of where your customers' interests are, you're going to be able to convert them over to your page or your event or whatever it is that you're doing faster, saving time and saving money, saving a lot of frustration. So it's going to be super important for you to start to become familiar with your Facebook insights. And the other flip side too is into Facebook groups. We're not going to get into that so much today, but with Facebook groups, they are right now ranking higher in the algorithm, meaning Facebook is pushing that out to more people because they do want to build these intimate communities within Facebook. So this is going to be something very important for you to understand is first get the page and then definitely back it up with a group. And you can have different kinds of groups for different kinds of projects. But that's a topic that needs more in depth to get into the group setup. But today I just really wanted to talk to you briefly about the importance of getting your page up and going. And real quick, before we go any further, if you can just make sure that you turn off your phone or any notifications, just so that we can make the most of this time that we have today, because it's flying by, seems like. So why would this be important to know all this stuff, like what your client's interested in and how are they feeling? There's a lot of reasons, because it becomes a secret sauce, a secret formula of being able to talk to them in a personalized way instead of shouting out to the masses with nothing that is personally resonating with anybody. In the past, big companies could do these ad campaigns and just yell it out to, hey, do you want to buy a truck? Here's a truck. The ones that have become smart have created these niche marketing campaigns to target specific people. One example you can think of is even with the minivan, when it might not be politically correct, but this is just the way it is. And it's one of the things with marketing is identify how things really are perceived in the real world. So for a while they were doing all these promotions with the moms in the minivan and targeting, the mom, the little kid and all of these, little ones that they were buckling in. Because when you look, this is an interesting thing for you to know, most married couples, and this has been proven through market research, the female typically has most influence on the purchases of the family. Now register that, especially with the minivan thing. So these large corporations are making, decisions, but it's based on scientific data, research, analysis. And yes, you will find some that will take the, flaming hand of empowerment and say, hey, I'm going to do something unique and target, it might be somebody that's beyond, the mom in the minivan that they're targeting. And those campaigns can work too, but everything needs to be directed to talk to that specific sub niche that you might be trying to aim at. And it's important. It would be like, for instance, let's say that you were selling organic meat, organic grass-fed meat shipped to you from Connecticut. And it's actually, anyway. And let's say that you were trying to sell that into a group of tofu, vegan, Buddhists. It's not going to work. That it would be a waste of your money and actually insulting and horrible. So you have to know who would be the people that would be interested in organic, grass-fed, red meat delivered to your house, fresh every week. You have to know who that is if that was your niche, and doing the research on your own is key, and taking advantage of some of these tools that they do have in Facebook. But I want to say to you, it's important not to just stay on the Facebook platform. Go into other areas too to gather information and research, including it could be going over to YouTube and typing in different information that would be something that your avatar would be searching. And this is something that I want you to do for your homework tonight. We're diving right into homework because this is super, super important. Is this evening, I'd like you to start doing research, starting with Google, and do it from the frame of mind of who your avatar, your prospect is. What would be concerns or questions that they might search? And when you type that in, become observant of all the other things that end up populating through that search, okay? So starting with Google and then moving over to YouTube and watching videos and taking it one step further, I want you to read in the comments below the videos of what people are saying. Is there a common theme of concerns or excitement that they're having? What's the language that they're using? Sometimes in these little eco tribes, there becomes like this own independent language and slang words that they use. Become observant. What is that? Another one that I'd like you to do is go over to Amazon. Now, Amazon is an incredible wealth of information for you to be able to sort through about your clients and your market. So one of the things that you could do is, of course, search for products that are relative to that and look through the reviews of what people are saying. But also go look specifically in the book section on Amazon of topics within that industry or niche or interest that your client would be interested in. And I want you to find one book that has a minimum of 100 reviews of comments on it and start to read through that. And the reason why it's important to have 100 is it gives you more of a sense of different people that are engaging with that book or that content that your avatar would be interested in. And start looking at the language, start looking at the concerns. What are they saying? How are they expressing, their needs for the future? And having this actually equips you with the way for you to end up producing your copyright, the way to address like what is the content or product or service that you're putting out there. Is it reflective to the needs of the market? You've got to remember in 2020, you're no longer in this position of pushing out advertising that's just about what you want to put out there. Those days are gone. I mean, we can do like the seasonal things and create content, but really to be able to connect and attract qualified sales leads, you've got to be able to speak their language and connect with them in a way that feels personal, that they want to stay with you and find more or buy now or, whatever it is that your goal is to get them going. So now this is the second part. While you've gone through and you've started doing all this research on, what your avatar might be looking for, this is the second part I want you to become aware of. Okay, number one, if you have the option to do some signups, like if they say sign up now for our newsletter, I want you to sign up for that newsletter, and I want you give them your real email address. And the reason why is because we're doing research. Okay, as you start typing in this information and engaging with these other sites, what is typically going to happen if it's a site that was really produced by somebody that is utilizing marketing? It triggers something that's called a pixel. And what that pixel does is it can follow you to different places on the internet to pop up that ad or to connect with you outside of Facebook, to follow you to other places. Now, they can't see you, like I can't see where it's going or what you're doing. It's not creepy like that, but it just allows a way for an ad to be generated and to follow you. So sign up, I'm going to say for at least 3 different email sort of opt-ins, okay? Become aware of what are the emails that they're sending you. And then also, when you are on Facebook, on the right-hand side, You'll see different ads that are popping up. Also in your news feed, you'll see different sponsors that pop up in your news feed. And that could be because they hit that ad feature on Facebook to say, find my 1% of lookalike audience that would be a good fit. And that is exactly what's happening behind the background. But a lot of people don't understand that. They just think if I just throw a great post up there and I click boost, people, the right people will come. You've got to start thinking in this next level of marketing, which incorporates things that are happening in the background that you just don't see. But when you start to become aware of this happening to you, it can create like new thoughts of, oh, well, maybe I can follow up with my customers with an email sequence like this. And you're becoming aware of what's the language, what is the routine and flow of what they have going on. And the big part is for you to start researching so that you understand your client. You start to understand what are their wants and their needs. And some of you may not even know with some of these prospects that you already have in your mind of things that they have going on in their world. I mean, are you going down and starting to do an analysis on some specific target clients, or are you just strictly relying on Facebook to bring you your ads and it's good? I'd like you to start taking this to the next level of marketing and really looking at it analytically like marketing, doing your research on your clients. Do you have 5 top clients that you really want to work with? You need to start doing research on them. Understand, do they have events that are going out? Have they recently released any press releases? Have they done, and that can be good for 2 things. Number one, if they are doing it, it can make you aware of what they've got going on in their world. Or at the same time, let's say that they don't have that going on, any events going on or activity. This may be a place that you can help fill in the gap. Like, let's say that you sold trinkets to, promote a business and it's got their name on it, their label, and it's great. You could even introduce them to, hey, have you thought about doing this activity so that this product's relative? The point being is sometimes customers don't even know what they're missing, and you have to educate them and inform them of the opportunity. It's not that they're ignorant. They're probably super, super smart with a great staff, but they have so many things going on that may have just, blew past their radar and they didn't know. And that's where you can create great relationships by teaching them and showing them tools and resources and knowledge that they might not know. So start thinking of it beyond just, boosting an ad and beyond just looking at the insights, and start doing an analysis of who are these clients and start understand what are their pain points, what are their goals, what are their hopes, what are their dreams, and have a little bit of fun with it. I think that as you start to understand your clients more, and you start creating content that's based on their language and their concerns, you're going to get more engagement, and it's going to be the right people because you've been speaking that language from the get-go. And, part of it will be looking also at what are things that are working, in your ad campaign or even in the content that you're creating, to find out what are they engaging with. You may find that on your group, this is another thing, on your Facebook business page, when you go into the insights, you have the opportunity to look at what content you put out there that your audience is engaging with. That right there becomes a call card for, maybe creating more of the content that you had a bunch of people engage with versus the content that just sat there flat. And this is something that's going to continually grow every single day, every week. It'll change and new numbers will pop up. So you're going to have to, regularly start looking at, hopefully you are, but I believe that a lot of people still aren't going in the background of Facebook and just looking at, the demographics and the details that you can see that are in plain sight, like what percentage of your audience is male versus female. Another one that's really cool too in Facebook is you have the chance to see when you're posting, when more people are engaging. So you might find that your audience, that they're night owls or they're morning birds or they all like to check in at noon. That's your responsibility to figure that out and find new ways as you discover this of how you can adapt your content or your timing so you can increase some of those little connections that you're trying to create. And when you do that, that's when you're going to get to the point that people that are scrolling through your content say, "Oh my gosh, they're talking to me. This was made for me." Because you've written it using their language and their concerns. It wasn't written from somebody that was sitting in the back of, an office that's never had to deal with those pain points. So this is like emotional marketing and a little bit more because you're hitting these trigger spots and people become super familiar with what it is that, this is my problem. Will you fix it? Please fix it. So one of the things I want you to start to look at are new ways that you can communicate with people. Try some of these tools, see what works, changing your copyright, adding on to it or doing whatever you can. But for the time being, one other thing, let me go over here 1 second. Sorry about that. One other thing that's really important too is as you start to understand your client is become aware of where would they be hanging out online. Yesterday, we were talking a lot about kids being over on TikTok versus, getting a letter to connect with a website. But the thing is, you may have a business to business operation where your business is selling directly to another business. You may find greater results on LinkedIn. And the same thing with Facebook. Facebook is a combination of micro communities and people that are scrolling through really quick while they have a chance. And it's one of the reasons why it is important to have a group. With YouTube, one of the things that I found is YouTube tends to be more of a search engine place where you will have like a tribe of people that will come to you, but you also have the opportunity to get exposed to clients that are coming to YouTube searching for how do I edit a video or how do I get, youthful skin. Use that as a way to pull in more people into your audience. But it's important for you to know this so you understand where your client's at. Now, this is one of the other things that I don't know if you know this or not, but you should, is all of those companies are separate corporations and they're there because they're all in business and they are each other's competition. Facebook, of course, has Facebook and Instagram and I think WhatsApp app or whatever. So they work well together if you're sharing information back and forth. However, Facebook does not like it when you send a YouTube video over onto Facebook. Your content's going to get suppressed. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're doing a direct upload to the sources that you're going into. There is one exception, like for instance, with LinkedIn, I have found that you can upload videos that are up to 10 minutes. So if you want to do a really long format video, you'd be better to either upload your video to Vimeo or YouTube and then share a link onto LinkedIn. So really quick, who knows who owns Facebook and Instagram? If you do, drop it in the comments. And then the next one is who owns YouTube? If you know the answer, tell me. I'm going to tell you all the answers in a minute. And the last one, do you know who owns LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. So Bill Gates, even though he's kind of retired, I'm sure he's got his little fingers in there too. Okay, so LinkedIn is Microsoft. Facebook is Zuckerberg and crew, and that includes Instagram also. YouTube is owned by Google. And it's important for you to remember those entities, when you got TikTok and all this other stuff popping up, they're all competition. So they don't want you moving people off of their platform. That's how you'll start getting lower ranks with all the work that you're putting out there. So you want to make sure that you understand where's your client at, and you're uploading that content directly to that platform. You can do multiple platforms, but it's important for you to understand where are your people at, so that you can build this tribe and a connection that's going to convert, and it doesn't become a burden. It doesn't become overload. And especially as you're starting to grow your online presence, you're going to have to kind of focus down on where some key places you might want to hang out and put all of this work and money, because you can only do so much at a time. And one of the big things is just showing up for them. If you start building this tribe and people are expecting you to come, you become a part of their routine, a part of their day. So make sure that as you're finding these people and you're connecting, you just continue to show up and give them what they want. Let them know that they care, that you care. Let them know that you understand their pain points and solutions that you have that can make it a little bit easier. And sometimes it may be just like planting a seed with them and then it grows over time. But you've got to find ways to connect with the right audience, so it's not just, I had 1,000 people or 500 people, but none of them were relative to what I was selling. I was trying to sell Mary Kay to, the guys that are going, hunting up north. It's not going to work. However, in Michigan, they have what they call Deer Widows Weekend, where all the guys go up north, and these smart marketers start promoting towards all the women that are at home while their husbands are hunting. And, and some of those women are probably like, he spent all that money going, blah, 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 blah. I'm buying me a new purse. So that becomes smart too, if that was your market, But the big part is understanding who they are and becoming familiar with the insights you can get from Facebook, understanding their pain point or their heart connections they have of things that are important to them, and start creating programs that are built around that instead of just built on what you want to sell, because it's not going to necessarily sell. I mean, maybe, but if you've designed it where it's specifically created for them and you're telling them their pain points in their own language, there's going to become this connection that's just super, super cool. So for tonight, for your homework, the big thing is do this research, take the time to do it, find at least 3 things to sign up for. Like it could be like a free workshop, or it could be a free demo, or a free newsletter. Sign up for 3 of them. Start becoming aware of what are the ads that start coming into your feed. It would be best if you take this lesson or this practice and do it with your customer's hat on. Like look at your search from their eyes. And you might not have it exact right now because you haven't done all your research, but that's all right, because the more you get into this, the language and the insight will start to reveal itself. But you've got to start by kind of queuing up all those little search engines, pixels, and yummy marketing details, and then it'll start to work for you. So I hope that this helped you in some way. We're getting ready for an exciting day tomorrow. I'm going to share some memory hacks and simple ways that you can become super confident on camera. And I'm even going to show some simple tricks that you can do. So if you really just hate the camera and don't want to go in front of it, I'll reveal some simple ways that you can create video that allows you to stay in your comfort zone. Because as much as I want to push you to do a video, some of you just might not be ready. But the biggest mistake that you can make is doing nothing. You've got to take some step forward to be able to get into your goals. So I'm curious, for 2020, did you schedule, in your mind at least, that event before Christmas? And if you haven't, I really want to encourage you to do that now, to create a slot still in 2020 where you can create opportunity for your business. You know, some people are starting to plan 2021, and that's fine. But where we're at, we still got a couple months in this year. Why waste it? Let's find ways to make opportunity. And one of the things that we are now offering through Brady Events and Marketing's membership through Beam is a brilliant opportunity of creating events online and not having to do it alone. Being able to create campaigns online and not having to do it alone. So we've set up this group sort of consultation area of like group coaching where there's training, including templates and opportunities, along with one-on-one consulting to help get you on track and create a strategy and roadmap that will help you achieve your goals. But the thing is, if you sit exactly where you're at today and you don't make a change, or you don't go forward into something else, you're going to be in the same spot tomorrow. And what I'd like to encourage you to do is embrace the rest of 2020 with a mindset of opportunity and hope. But this time, instead of going to 5 different gurus, 5 different coaches, spreading, your mind all over the place on tasks that you have to do, I'm structuring this for the next rollout will be like a 3-month block where we actually work with you hand in hand along the way to help you launch a campaign or a workshop or a challenge or something, so that people can come be a part of what you're selling online. So in this group, I'm going to be talking to you about it a little bit more tomorrow. And I think that right now, if you take the momentum of the things that we're talking about through this week and you start to apply it, instead of just getting through this challenge and then shutting the book and saying, okay, one more lesson learned, let's take it to this next level of creating a team that can work with you and coach you and encourage you to show you pitfalls that you can avoid. And even yesterday, I was explaining to you, I have a coach that I work with, and my coach actually has 2 coaches she works with. But also something I didn't tell you is I have, for instance, a tech guy that works with me, and I've got him on a retainer. And every time I have a problem, I reach out to him and he gives me insight on, this is how you do it. This is how you fix it. So 2 days ago, I was having a little bit of a problem with my connection. Just some background stuff that just wasn't working out. So I reached out to him. We did a 45-minute phone call. We worked out all of the kinks and I was good to go. Now, truth be told, and I'm a techie person, I could have figured that out, but it may have taken me a full day of research and troubleshooting. But because I had that in place, it was a 45-minute phone call. I was doing some work on my part, but I had somebody that had the expertise that was guiding me. And that's one of the cool things about working with Beam, with our membership area, is you end up getting access so that you aren't wasting time feeling frustrated or overloaded, feeling like you have all these great ideas, 10 different projects and ideas, but none of them are being implemented or executed. You have this great idea of this goal, But every single day, you end up being in the same spot that you were the day before with no progress, being in a place of like posting online and you're not getting any engagement or connection or reach. There's things that you can do that can save you a lot of time, money, headache, frustration. But part of it is having the right people that are working with you. Now, our program's a little bit different because we don't just do, we have some trainings that you can catch in the background in the members area, but it's more than that. We're really working closely with our clients so that we understand what are their true needs and then looking at how things are rolling out along the way. So earlier I was saying, understand who your clients are. Like have they done press releases? Have they done events? Well, when we're working with our clients, we understand a broader scope of everything that they have going on and things that we can give them that can fuel their car from going 5 miles an hour to going 100 miles an hour. We'll keep it legal, 70 miles an hour, right? But that becomes one of the things that is incredibly powerful by working with the right team. And I've been working in marketing for over 20 years. And even in that time, I'm always learning. And it's going to continue to be like that as long as I work in marketing. Things are going to grow, they're going to evolve. My clients are going to change, platforms are going to change. And I would be foolish if I didn't create opportunities for me to connect with resources that will allow me to propel. One of the big problems that some entrepreneurs and small business owners have is they say, I'll do it myself. I'll get it done. That's like, have you ever seen people that go like to the craft, those art and craft shows? I love them in the summertime. You see some beautiful artwork, but you'll look at, oh, that little tchotchke thing. It's so cute. I'll make that myself. But the problem is, you think it looks easy and it looks simple, but sometimes you just really never make it yourself. Or when you do, it might not look quite the same or as good. And even through like this challenge, I'm sharing with you like the broader scope of all these things. And, I might be giving you one point, like one main topic, but under that main topic, there's like 20 subtopics that tie into how to take it to that next level. But it's not anything that I could, relay even in a 5-day period, what I've learned in 20 years of marketing and continue to learn. But that becomes one of the great things about being in the group is you get exposure to detail and also specifically like niche strategies that are appropriate for what you got going on. So I hope that's something that you might be interested in. If you do want to try to do a quick connect call, you can either drop a comment below or send me a direct message and we can try to get you in on a quick connect call to find out if your business or organization is a good fit for what we have going on. But it's going to be an incredible October, November, and December for the people that get into the Beam membership. And I'm going to be talking to you about that a little bit more tomorrow. But the one thing that I am super stoked about tomorrow is that we're going to be talking about memory hacks, ways that you can use these memory hacks to become confident on camera and to be able to speak clearly to your audience and get them excited about what you have going on. And it goes back to using their language. But now we're going to give you memory hacks tomorrow. And these are cool things that you can apply to your everyday life. One spot I really should apply it are my car keys. I'm notorious for it. I did it again this morning. Where are my car keys? You want to know where they were? In my purse that I originally had looked at, but I looked before I had coffee. So I don't know. Get pumped up with the right stuff in your, marketing portfolio. That might include a little bit of coffee and a little bit of inspiration from somebody like myself and my team. We'd love you to check it out, create opportunity, and let's make 2020 a little bit of rock and roll. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't joined the group, our free Facebook group, I really want you to go over there. It's Digital Marketing Strategies for Entrepreneurs and Nonprofits. If you go over there, you'll see regular content, some other cool stuff that we do behind the scenes. All right, I wish you abundant success along with the side of happiness. All right, you guys. In the meantime, make it an awesome day. Stars are in light.